Before the world turned digital and love became an algorithm, one song captured the purest kind of hope. Simple, human, eternal. It was born in the quiet garden of a beetle who just wanted to feel the sun again. This is the story of Here Comes the Sun, and the 10 reasons it became the most beautiful song the Beatles ever made. Number 10. Born from a Winter That Wouldn't End. George Harrison didn't write it in a studio. He wrote it hiding from one. Tired of endless business meetings and fading friendships, George escaped to Eric Clapton's garden one cold morning. The long British winter had just broken, sunlight finally touched the ground, and as warmth filled the air, so did a melody. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Those words weren't just lyrics. They were George's sigh of relief, a prayer for peace, a gentle reminder that even after the darkest season, the sun always returns. Number 9. George's Quiet Rebellion. While Lennon and McCartney were fighting over direction and dominance, George found his voice, quietly, gracefully. Here Comes the Sun wasn't a protest, but it was defiance. It said, I don't need noise to be heard. No psychedelic experiments, no orchestras, just a guitar, a Moog synthesizer, and sincerity. In a band built on thunder, George became the calm before it. His music didn't scream for attention. It invited you to listen. And somehow, that made it louder than anything else on Abbey Road. Number 8. The simplicity that feels like home. Every chord feels familiar, like morning light through a half-open window. There's no grand structure, no big chorus, yet you remember every word. That's the beauty of George Harrison's songwriting. It speaks softly, but lingers forever. Here Comes the Sun reminds us that joy doesn't have to be loud. Sometimes it's just a single acoustic guitar whispering everything will be all right. It's the kind of simplicity only someone who's lived through chaos could write. Number 7. Abbey Road's Moment of Light. The Beatles' final days were dark. Lawsuits, resentment, exhaustion. Yet on Abbey Road, a miracle happened. Hope sneaked in through George's melody. Amid all the tension, Here Comes the Sun felt like a curtain lifting. It turned the studio, their battlefield, into a place of peace, even for a few minutes. When George strummed those opening chords, everyone stopped arguing. Even the tape machine seemed to breathe. Number 6. The Moog synthesizer's gentle magic. Long before electronic music ruled the world, George was experimenting with the Moog, a massive, unpredictable machine that filled the studio with hums and whirs. Instead of using it as a gimmick, he made it sing like sunlight itself. Those subtle waves behind the guitars? That's the Moog, painting the morning sky in sound. In 1969, nobody had heard anything like it, and yet it felt as old as nature. Number 5. A song without ego. Unlike Lennon's sharp wit or McCartney's theatrical flair, Here Comes the Sun carries no ambition to impress. It's humble, like its author. George didn't write it to dominate charts. He wrote it because he needed it. The song isn't trying to change the world, it's trying to heal it. And maybe that's why it still does. Number 4. The soundtrack of renewal. You've heard it in weddings, graduations, movies, and quiet moments of rediscovery. Its message outlived the Beatles themselves. Every generation that hears Here Comes the Sun adopts it as their own, a reminder that endings can be beginnings. It's not just about weather, it's about life. Number 3. A spiritual reflection. George was deeply influenced by Indian philosophy, finding light not in fame but in faith. Here Comes the Sun is almost like a mantra. It isn't religious in the traditional sense, but it's profoundly spiritual. You don't just listen to it, you feel it, like sunlight warming your skin after a storm. Number 2. A song that healed the Beatles' legacy. When Abbey Road was released, fans didn't know it would be their goodbye. But this song softened that farewell. Here Comes the Sun became the sound of closure, proof that even broken bonds can produce something beautiful. It was George's way of saying the love was real, even if the dream ended. Number 1. The Eternal Sunrise. More than 50 years later, the song still plays every morning somewhere in the world. Its chords have outlived vinyl, CDs, and streaming platforms, because it's not just a song. It's a feeling, a sunrise that never stops rising. And maybe that's the secret of the Beatles' magic. They taught us that love, like the sun, never really goes away. In a career defined by revolutions and reinventions, Here Comes the Sun was the Beatles' quietest goodbye, and George Harrison's softest triumph. A song written in solitude that ended up warming the whole world, because sometimes the brightest light comes from the gentlest soul.